Good morning and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Advanced Audiology. I'm Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And Dr. Dorio is in Sacramento working for the seniors.
Oh my
Yes, he is on the some kind of board and he's a representative for Santa Clarita out here. So he's up there today and he's working hard for the seniors in this community.
Wow.
So, and now that you're here, Dr. Marwa Kilani, a palliative care doctor, how are you this morning?
I'm good. I get to sit in Dr. Dorio's seat. I'll keep it nice and warm for him until next week.
Yes, yes. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I think it's a good idea to talk a little bit about palliative care and also some recent developments in palliative care that have happened in the last couple of days, which has been pretty exciting for palliative care folks and for palliative care education and research. There has been a bill that was passed in the House of Representatives, our federal House of Representatives.
Right.
And the bill is called PCHETA. We call it PCHETA.
PCHETA.
HETA. So if you do hashtag PCHETA, you will actually get the information on it. And
Pachita.
what that information or what that bill was, and it still needs to be passed by the Senate, but at this time that bill is focusing on palliative care education and research, and is hoping that the government will be providing more resources towards advanced illness, advanced care planning, more educational opportunities. So it's big for our specialty and our, in particular, our seniors, because hopefully this may mean more providers and more care for them.
That's wonderful. Now, when is it going into effect?
Well, I
Or
think they're waiting for the Senate to pass it.
Oh.
So it's been passed by the House of Representatives. The Senate passes it. I think it then goes to the president.
I don't know.
You
I
know,
don't know the
Me neither.
levels that occur.
Yeah, I don't know the hurdles, but fortunately, it is a bipartisan bill, which you know how uncommon that is. So it is something very exciting, and you know, it's really about providing the best care for our patients out there who have serious illness.
That's wonderful. And that's usually seniors.
A lot of time it is. Majority of the patients are.
Yes, seniors.
Yeah. So it is something that we're very passionate about. You know, unfortunately, the statistics are that there are very few palliative care providers, and this is not just physicians, but nursing, social work, chaplains. Very few providers out there in the community that can do this level of work.
Why is that?
You know, it's not very well funded. It's not. There's a significant demand, and we just cannot maintain, you know, a supply of providers based on the demand. The statistics are that for every 1,200 patients who are dealing with a serious illness, there's only one provider. And in communities that are as vast as Los Angeles, Santa Clarita, there may, you know, that those numbers may be much higher.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Well, what kind of education requirements go into becoming a palliative care nurse or doctor?
Typically, you have to go through a general specialty. So for doctors in particular, you can be any type of physician. You can go into family practice, internal medicine. You could be a surgeon. You can go into emergency medicine, but then you have to go on to a fellowship to do palliative care.
Why is that? A fellowship.
So
What does that mean?
it means that you're getting specialty level care. So for instance, you could be a general surgeon and then decide to specialize in cancer surgery, for
Okay,
instance.
okay.
And that is a particular fellowship, which could be another 2 years of training.
Whoa.
So for palliative care, it could be 1 to 2 years of training in addition to their general residency.
Now, and that's interesting. What kind of training goes into palliative care?
Now it's that's a really good question, because you would think that this is a little bit more general, but actually palliative care training is a lot about pain and symptom management, learning all the different modalities that are available to the patients. It's about learning how to work very cohesively with a team of providers. So the physician cannot operate in a silo. So it's not about the physician, it's about the entire team process.
I see.
It's about having really in-depth conversations about patients' illnesses, meeting goals of care, and doing a lot of, unfortunately, there's a lot of end-of-life care that has to be focused on as well. So there's a lot of psychology to it. There's a lot of spirituality training, psychosocial elements that need to be learned that you don't necessarily learn as a general physician through a regular residency. So I had a good friend of mine on the East Coast who he had been an infectious disease doctor for decades, and then decided to go back, do some training, and get a palliative care specialty. And it was like having to relearn how to have conversations with patients.
How interesting.
Isn't it? It's different.
That's very interesting. Well,
Yeah.
in other words, you're with a patient longer.
Yes. Yes.
Much longer, because normally a doctor will come in if he's home, if he's going to the homes or going to the hospitals, come in, do whatever, talk to the patient, and they're gone in 15 minutes. Or
Yep.
you're out of their office in
Oh,
15 minutes or
yeah.
less.
It's interesting because like we carve out 1 hour block times for our routine patient meetings. So it is a very extensive conversation. It's really about understanding who each individual is and then establishing a care plan around who that person is. So it takes a different finesse in addressing their needs. And it's not as easy as doctoring in the traditional sense, where you write a prescription and you send them on their way, or you send them for an x-ray or some lab studies. No, this is a lot different. And a lot of times you're having to sit down, you have to have met with the other doctors on the team to get an understanding of where truly is that patient in their journey with their illness, so that you can help the patient understand their journey better. So it's very rewarding as a provider, but it's a challenge.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah.
Absolutely would be.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because when Russ was in the hospital,
Yeah.
the doctor wanted to put him in a nursing home. And I said, absolutely not.
Well, he had never
That
been in one.
No, and
You
that
always
was the
provided
last, that
such
was
good
the
care
last
for him.
place he wanted to be.
Absolutely.
Was in a nursing home. That's why I had 24/7 care for him.
That's correct.
And that was the best thing that could have happened. But when he went into the hospital, he was in there for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, let's put him in a care place. And I said, no. And I finally thought, maybe it's time for me to bring in palliative care.
Yeah.
And I talked to the doctor, and he okayed it. And then I had palliative care come in there.
Yeah.
And they were there for, 2 or 3 days, off
Yeah.
and on.
Right.
And then that final day, he seemed to be in a lot of pain, and they gave him a shot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in 30 minutes, he was gone.
Wow. Wow.
But, it was time for him.
Yeah.
It really was. And he's in a much better place now.
Well, I know that you did such a tremendous job taking care of him at home, and it was such the most honorable way of caring for him. I
Yeah,
mean, it was an effort.
yes, yes,
It was an effort, and but I think that you had good balance in a lot of ways, because you would come in here and do the show. You had good community support.
Yes.
You have great friends. I know that
Oh.
you've shared a lot about your friends and the trips you take,
Oh, yes.
and you have a beautiful family.
That's right. That's right. And
And
everyone was here for
yes,
us
yes,
and for me,
yep,
because they could sense what I was going through. And we all knew that at some point he was going to go,
yeah,
because of the illness he had, the COPD, and on top of that, pneumonia,
yes, oh yes,
which, that was what really was his downfall, the pneumonia, because they couldn't get rid of it. His body would not make it go away. So, but he's in a much better place now. But I'm so glad that I was able to do what I did
yes,
and have the palliative care. And I think I may have told you before, I I got long-term care insurance
yes.
a long time ago, and he said, "No, absolutely not. We don't need that."
Oh,
I
thank
went ahead
goodness
and
you
I went
did.
ahead and got it anyway.
Oh my goodness. I know my parents have a long-term care insurance, and I'm just so thankful they did.
Well, interestingly, it paid 1/3 of the monthly cost
Wow, that's
to take
pretty
care of him.
tremendous.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It really is. And I didn't get a real top of the line long-term care insurance policy.
So it's worth
I-
it to look into it.
It really is. In my opinion, yes, because it saved us quite a bit of money. Because otherwise, it all came out of pocket.
I may start looking
Because-
into that now. I mean, it's good to start thinking about it. I think that's when my parents started looking into theirs. Like they must have been like in their 40s or 50s.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was in my late 50s
Yeah. Yeah.
when I purchased it. And for the length of time that they covered him, it was worth every penny that I paid for it.
Oh,
Because 1/3 is a lot when you consider you're paying $85 an hour
oh my goodness.
for
yeah.
in-home care,
Yeah. Wow.
and I had it 24/7.
wow.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
that is tremendous.
And in our income tax last year, what we paid out of pocket was $120,000
Wow.
for 1 year of home care.
Wow.
And that a third of the total amount was covered by insurance, but we out of pocket 120,000,
Wow.
and that's a lot of money.
Wow. Wow.
And
that's
I'm so fortunate
tremendous.
that Russ was the type of person who said we need to invest,
Yeah.
not stocks, not stocks. We're not going in the stock market. We need to invest, I just urge everyone listening, please invest. Invest your money. Use it wisely, because you never know when you're going to need it.
Wow.
And fortunately, through his investments, we were able to take care of him.
Wow. That is so wonderful.
It really is.
Really
and
made
and
it.
he always said, no, you if something happens to me, we need to make sure you're taken care of.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about a thing.
Thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And he made sure, he said, no, we're paying off the house. And so the house is completely paid for. So it's Both cars are completely paid for.
Aw.
He was never one to go into debt.
That's such good planning. And that's something that we could probably talk about after your break. But that's something to really be grateful for.
Yes,
All
it
that
is.
good planning.
Yeah, and do we need to take a break? Okay, let's do that. I'm Barbara Cochran on the hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Pumpkins are back in Santa Clarita, a short ride up Bouquet Canyon. It's Gilchrist Farm's Harvest Festival and Pumpkin Patch, with pumpkins and more pumpkins. Open from 9 till 6 daily in October, the festival is full of pony rides, farm animals, live entertainment, farm crafts, archery, and pig races. Book your professional photo session in the Pumpkin Patch. Learn how to milk a goat, gather eggs, and pick your perfect Halloween pumpkin. Nostalgia return to Santa Clarita at Gilchrist Farm. That's GilchristFarm.com.
Experience luxury senior living at Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's brand new community in Santa Clarita. At Oakmont of Valencia, residents will enjoy 5-star amenities, including state-of-the-art movie theaters, spacious custom-built apartment homes, and sweeping views of the valley, all in close proximity to shopping, restaurants, and medical centers. Enjoy resort-style living, professional concierge services, a luxurious salon and day spa, and world-class dining. At Oakmont of Valencia, you'll embrace retirement in style. Enjoy impeccable service and unending possibilities with Oakmont. For details, visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
If you are a small business owner or self-employed and owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call Anthem Tax Services today. 866-630-2694. We have saved millions of dollars in tax debt, and our goal is to reduce your tax debt to as little as possible. We are confident enough in our services to offer a 100% money-back guarantee. Call for a free consultation, and we'll also take care of your tax case study for free. 866-630-2694. 866-630-2694.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And we're speaking with Dr. Marwa Kilani, a palliative care doctor. And before we went on break, we were talking about urging people to be prepared.
Yeah.
Invest your money. Put something aside every week or every month to help take care of you and when you get older, because you never know.
I can't stress how important that is. Because I unfortunately see so many folks who pass through the hospital and they just don't have any funds to help them, with caregiving, or even it doesn't have to be 24 hours. It could be just a few hours a day. But they have very limited resources. So having a little plan in place in advance can really carry somebody a long way.
Yes, it can. Start that nest egg.
Absolutely.
And specify what it's for, and don't touch it. Keep putting into it, but don't touch it. You can start another nest egg, for goodies,
Yeah.
you know,
For if you
stuff
want
that you want to do and
a
take money out
trip,
of that one.
a
Yes,
trip,
absolutely.
or buying a new car, or whatever that may be. But you need to start planning
You need
for
to
your
start planning
caregiving, for
your-
health.
Absolutely, for as you get older. And people are living longer now.
Yes, and it's much more complicated to live longer with when you have serious illness.
That's right. It certainly is.
So it's it is a lot of work for family members, for care providers, and we have to really start thinking very creatively.
That's right.
And that's a nice thing about the work that I do and what we do in palliative care is we really start thinking out of the box when it comes to solutions for our patients, especially if they have particular needs. So we want to make sure that we understand what their goals are. And if we know that in order to get to that goal, we need to do X, Y, and Z. How are we gonna do X, Y, and Z and get as much of it covered as possible by their
That's right.
insurance, so that it's the most minimal financial burden. So we really have to get creative with things. We use our social worker. We have family conferences to see who we can pull from within that patient's care unit. And we just start getting creative.
Well, you have to. You
Yeah.
have to. And like I said before, people are living longer.
Yeah.
They really are. And as they get older and older, they get illnesses that completely incapacitate them, and they need care.
Yeah.
And if you have a wife or a husband or children, family members that can kick in, that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
It really is. But some people don't,
Right.
you
Right.
know, they don't. And because
Yeah.
for whatever reason they've passed away or they've moved out of state and are not available. So you really have to look into finding ways to take care of you as you get older and if and when you get sick. You really do. You need to start that nest egg. Put that little pot of money. Keep putting it in that pot.
Right.
Even if it's $5 a week, $10 a week.
Absolutely.
Every
Because
little bit helps.
that could grow.
Oh,
That money could grow.
it really will grow. And if you get enough to where you can invest it in a safe investment, then by all means do it.
Another important thing towards that, particularly if there aren't family members nearby or, children nearby, it's important to develop who can make decisions for you. Setting up some type of trust or durable power of attorney, financially speaking, as well as healthcare proxy is very important because you want to be able to rely on somebody who could really act on your behalf.
That's
And
right.
it needs to be set up.
It does. And next week we have the family has an appointment with Randall Caden, the elder law attorney.
Uh-huh.
And he's the one I went to
Excellent.
when we had the trust when Russ passed away, and we had to figure out what was going on, and the trust was an absolute mess.
Yeah.
You know, he had
Yeah.
half of the money going to family members and half of it going to me.
Yes.
Well, there were lots of little funny things that had happened, and laws have been changing. Even Randall himself said, I have to study up myself
Yeah.
because so many things are changing that are related to trusts and wills and that kind of thing. So we have finally got it all straightened out, and so next week we're all going into his office and sign all the papers to get the trust started again,
Right.
and have my daughter and my son be the trustees.
Oh, that's perfect.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's been a while coming, but things take time.
Yeah, it does take time, and you have to plan it.
That's right. And that's why it's so important to plan ahead, because things do take time.
Yeah, so when we think of it in palliative care terms, we think of the importance of living in the moment when it comes to experiencing the joys of life, experiencing our families, doing the activities we love, really trying to fill our buckets, our emotional buckets, if you will,
Yes,
with
absolutely.
good, happy memories. But it's also extremely important to plan for the future,
Absolutely.
because we just don't know what's going to come down the pipeline.
That's right.
So that's a big part of what we do in palliative care, is teach our patients and families to live in the moment, make meaning out of the days that we have, regardless of where they're at with their illness, whether they're terminal, whether they're just at the beginning of an illness, you name it. But also to do that very important planning in advance so that they don't struggle with planning later on, and then they don't have the energy for it.
That's very true. That's very true. And if you don't put in those dollars, then your energy is going to even
Dwindle.
quickly
Oh,
disappear.
absolutely.
It really will, because then
Absolutely.
you're worried about that, and that's a great deal of stress.
That's a lot of stress.
Oh, it is.
And it contributes to a lot of symptoms.
Yes.
Poor sleep, poor appetite, worsening pain, anxiety.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen patients who have just been given lots of pain meds, but really their pain was exacerbated by the stress that they were experiencing.
That's right. That's right.
So there's a lot that can be done in advance.
And that's a bad time to be on pain meds.
Yes,
Very bad time.
absolutely.
Very bad time. Well, now, you were talking when we first came on the air about this new bill
Yeah.
that's coming
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
It's PCHETA.
Yes.
Pachita. Bill number HR 647.
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So this bill was just passed in the House 2 days ago, and the neat thing about it, has bipartisan support,
Woohoo!
which is tremendous. So
Yes, it is.
So I think the radio station will be happy we're not going to talk politics.
Yes.
But it also provides for further funding towards education around advanced illness. So that education is at the level of medical students, social workers who are in training, nursing students, and beyond. Okay. It also helps with advanced care planning. There are some states who do tremendous jobs, like Wisconsin, for instance, has a tremendous effort in working on their entire population to do their advanced directives in advance. And so the whole push of this bill is to increase awareness on advanced illness, increase educational opportunities for providers, hopefully, bring down the numbers of that supply and demand imbalance, so that we're not having so many patients out there without proper providers, and make sure that we're having good conversations about serious illness, goals of care, what's important to our patients, how do we focus on quality of life. So there's a lot of good stuff that's built into this bill, and I think all of us within the palliative care specialty are pretty excited. We'd like to see more colleagues in this field. Unfortunately, it's a demanding job, but it's also very rewarding. And we're hoping that we can see more folks go into it.
That would be nice. It really
Yeah.
would.
So a lot of the work that like Dr. Dorio does, he really does a lot of that palliative care work.
Yes, he does.
And having more folks like him in the community would be so tremendous.
It would, and it's a shame that more doctors don't make home calls
I know.
because
Yeah. It's
you know,
special. It's really, special.
It is, but when a doctor goes into a home, he can assess so much. I mean, just the general surroundings.
Oh, yeah.
There may be a rug on the floor that is
Dangerous.
That's right.
Yes.
Dangerous. And the homeowners,
They've had
it's
that
been
rug
there-
down there for
yes,
like 20
forever.
years.
Right.
Right?
But that one little item
Yes.
could cause a great deal of harm
Absolutely.
for somebody who might slip on it,
Yeah.
especially someone who's walking on a walker.
Oh, gosh, yes.
That kind of thing can happen. And that's what doctors notice when they go into a home and make a home visit.
That's right.
And that's the way Dr. Dorio has done it for years and years and years.
I mean, that's been built into his practice.
Yeah, and I think his brother also does the same thing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
He does. And I just wish more doctors would do that because when you go into an office, you're there for 15 minutes, if that. The doctor, there's no way he can make any really, really good assessments,
Absolutely.
other than taking your blood pressure, taking your temperature, putting you on a scale. Oops, your blood pressure is a little bit high. Let's give you medication for that, and so on and so forth. But seeing someone in their home makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and it's nice to also see people in their own environment, how they interact with their families in real time, rather than just a rosy picture they may be painting in the doctor's office, or maybe it's disaster that they're painting in the doctor's office, and
That's
really
right.
it's not that bad.
That's
So,
right.
you have to be able to make light of the situation and see things real time.
And he thoroughly enjoys doing that. He really does.
Yeah.
Because he can sit down. I mean, the times that he visited Russ, he was there a good 30, 45 minutes.
Oh, yes, yes, yeah.
Chatting with Russ, getting a feel for what's going on with him. And just even my kitty cat came out and looked, and who's that, She ran back inside. Ran back into one of the other rooms. But no, it really does. It makes a big difference when a doctor can go into a home
Yeah.
because they can get all kinds of good extra information
Yeah.
that they don't get in an office.
Yeah, I haven't had the luxury of doing it very often because I'm hospital based, but I do have a patient that I've been visiting about weekly for the last month and a half. He's a palliative care patient.
Right.
He's been undergoing treatment for his cancer. He has a cancer that he's getting chemotherapy for, but he has a lot of needs, and he has very limited family support. Most of his family lives on the East Coast, and he just had a birthday. He turned 75, 74. So it's been he's had a lot of challenges, but being home has been amazing for him. He has an amazing caregiver that has come taking care of him. He's got a great network of friends that are very dedicated to him. And it's been devised so well. And we've really tried to coordinate his care as best as we can so that he can live as long as he can with the best quality of life.
Yes, in his own home.
In his own home.
And that makes so much difference.
And he asked me at one point, should I go to a home? Should I go to a nursing home? I said no. I told him no, because you have the means to do this at home, and you have a team that can do this for you at home.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Yeah, he would be miserable
Oh my God!
if he wasn't
There-
at home.
no way. There was no way.
I mean, the nursing homes do a great job, but it's just not the same.
It's not for everybody.
No, it isn't.
Some patients really love that nursing home environment. It's their social outlet. It is an opportunity for them to go down to the dining hall and
That's right.
and have a meal and socialize, but it's not for everybody.
No, it isn't. No, it absolutely isn't. And it's Russ would ask me, "Are you going to go live in one of these senior living places?" I said, "Why?" I said, "I don't want to do that. I want to stay in my own home for as long as I can."
Well, although I do have to say, my mom had passed by one of the not a, it wasn't a senior apartment, it was like an assisted living, but boy was it fancy. And
Oakmont?
No, it was one in Woodland Hills. I think it was
Okay.
like a, gosh, what's the fancy one? Not Sunrise. I think it's like a Sunrise sort of
Sunrise,
level.
Yeah, okay.
And she looked at it and she goes, "Boy, that is a nice facility." They could be pretty fancy, but I'm sure it comes with a very high price tag.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. A very, very high price tag. And fine, if you can afford to do it,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Especially we have 2 Oakmonts up here now.
Oh.
And they are beautiful
Oh, my
places.
gosh.
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely beautiful. And we've had one of the managers come over. She's been on the show before. And told us all about, all of the activities they have
Oh, my
there.
goodness,
They
I
go
can
on
imagine.
field trips. They do all kinds of things.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
And everybody mingles with everybody. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's a way to get people involved,
Right.
and that's what they're doing. And but as long as I have family close by and I have friends, I wouldn't want to go into one of those places.
No, you don't need to.
No.
You don't need
if I
to.
can have someone come in and take care of me, if and when I get to that point, which I don't plan to anytime soon.
Nope. I can't envision it in the next
No.
25 years.
Oh.
You
Well,
better
I-
start planning.
Yeah, I start planning. I've been planning.
Good girl.
Yes, everything's in place.
Yes.
Everything's in place. Oh, we need to take another break? 1 minute? Okay, let's go 1 more minute.
I got to tell you, I had a 108-year-old patient the other day.
Oh, my goodness.
God bless her. She was beautiful. Was so well taken care of by her daughter in the home, and just a smile. She had very few words at that point, but just a smile from ear to ear. Would only eat from her daughter's hands, and it was so special to watch that interaction.
108 years old.
108. I think that's my oldest patient.
goodness.
Yeah, just
That is incredible.
beautiful.
Oh, that must be. That
And
must have been
feisty.
wonderful.
She was a feisty little one, too. Boy, if she didn't like one of the nurses, she'd let them know.
I love it. I love it. I think that's so special. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
108.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, yes.
Well, I plan to get there myself.
I think
don't
you have
it-
that potential.
I don't have any plans anytime soon of leaving this earth.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. And then we need to take a break now, don't we? Yes. I'm Barbara Cochran on the hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Olive Terrace Bar and Grill is the hottest new Mediterranean fusion restaurant in Santa Clarita with unique delicacies like seafood right off the boat, mouth-watering prime steaks, artesian sandwiches, delicious pastas, and tasty kebabs. Unwind on their cozy outdoor patio at their weekend champagne brunch. Full menu and weekly specials at oliveterracebarandgrill.com. Check out their full bar and happy hour daily specials in Valencia on Copper Hill and Newhall Ranch Road by LA Fitness. Olive Terrace Bar and Grill, delicious food seasoned with love.
You just had an accident. You're okay, but worried your car will never look the same. Your vehicle may be the second biggest investment you'll ever make. Give it the care it deserves at Body Shop 661.
Hi, this is Caesar from Body Shop 661. If you had an accident, you get to choose the auto body facility you want. Our full collision repair center works with all vehicles, foreign and domestic, and we handle all insurance companies.
Body Shop 661 off Ruther behind Home Depot.
What if you could wake up without the burden of owing over $10,000 in taxes to the IRS or state? Call the trusted name in tax resolution, Anthem Tax Services, 866-630-2694.
Anthem saved me nearly $17,000 and settled my debt with the IRS for just $100.
We are ready to negotiate your tax debt and reach a settlement that makes sense for you. Call for a free consultation, 866-630-2694, 866-630-2694.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Dr. Marwa Kilani, a palliative care doctor. And we need to wrap up, but I also need to get your telephone number where we can reach you if someone out in the audience needs
Absolutely.
some assistance.
So I sit at Providence Holy Cross, which is a wonderful hospital. It's very dedicated to whole person care. That's in Mission Hills. And our number there is 818-496-1837. And that is the general line for our palliative care department. We have pretty amazing staff. We've got nurses. We have a new nurse practitioner, Sandra Ortiz, who has just joined our team, which we're really excited about.
Wonderful.
So her role has been carved out uniquely and very thoughtfully by our program director, Tanya Haight. Her role is going to act as a hybrid role of an oncology nurse navigator and palliative care provider. So she is really dedicated to the extensive continuum of care for patients who are undergoing cancer treatment.
Wow, that's quite a job.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So she's linking folks up to the community with all the different resources, making sure that they have their treatment plans in place, that they're set up with their appointments, they're scheduled with radiation, you name it. And really hopes to coordinate that with our outpatient palliative care. Outpatient nurse navigators from oncology. So we've got a pretty amazing team working on cancer, palliative care. We've got lots of community resources. So we're pretty excited at Holy Cross to have these opportunities.
That's wonderful, and that's mainly where you
That's
operate
where I'm
out
at.
of. That's where you're at.
That's where I've been for 14 years now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. You
Yeah.
must really like it.
I love it. Being at that hospital is like being at home. It really is. And
That's wonderful.
It's a friendly staff, amazing care. I had to be hospitalized at one point, got my care there, and it was tremendous. My parents have been hospitalized there, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's wonderful.
I love it. I
That's
just love it.
wonderful.
Yeah. So we're fortunate to have some good options here in this valley too. So.
Well, I know they have the option at Henry Mayo for palliative care also.
Right.
Because
Right.
that's how I got it for us.
Yes.
And it was very effective. Really was.
Yeah.
And it's good to have that type of care available.
Yeah. Yes. There's a lot of hand-holding
Yes.
that you won't see from a traditional care provider.
No. That's very true.
Because the bedside nurse doesn't have the time.
No.
The doctors don't have the time. But that team does, and that's what they do.
That's
Yeah.
right, because the nurses come in, they blood pressure,
Oh.
take your temperature,
Pills.
empty your pee box or whatever you call it, and stuff you full of pills, and that's basic. And they do it, wang, 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 and it's done, and they're
Yeah.
out of there because they've got to
Yes.
get to the next patient. And in my opinion, they never have enough nurses
No.
on call in the hospitals. In my opinion, they do not.
I know.
They need to have at least 3 more than they have already.
Yeah. Yeah. Per unit.
Absolutely.
One as a
Because-
backup.
Absolutely. They need to have more there. And I noticed that at Henry Mayo.
Oh.
Because that's why I decided myself to go there and stay for the majority of hours.
Yes. Yes.
You know, because if he needed something, if I couldn't get it and I couldn't get the nurse to get it, I would have to go out there and say, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
we
That's
need some assistance here."
Yeah.
And I'm glad I was able to be there to do
Yeah.
that, because I was every single day that occurred. And they just don't have enough nurses on staff.
Yeah.
They really don't. But again,
Well, maybe this bill may be helping with that. Maybe it'll provide more resources to have more education, palliative care providers.
that would be wonderful.
We'll have to wait and see what Senate does.
They better.
They
They
better.
better.
I know our state senators do support it, so that's good news.
Yes,
So
that's
we're
wonderful
in-
news.
yeah.
Wonderful news.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Marwa Kilani, palliative care doctor, you can be reached at 818-496-1837. Thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
It went so quickly.
I know.
The time absolutely disappeared.
I know.
Well,
And
that's
we
what
missed
hap-
Dr. Dorio.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's up in Sacramento fighting for the seniors.
Yay.
Yes, he is. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having
Really
me.
enjoyed it. And we are sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Advanced Audiology. Join us next week on the Senior Hour, and now go and enhance your quality of life.